I think it's going to be a good day. Got some work ahead of me. Um, Welcome back to Having a Cup of Joe with Joe. I'm Joe. Today, I'm working on Elizabeth. I was washing her up to try to find where I had a rattling bolt. At first, I thought it was my chain that was loose, but it turned out this bolt right here, the nut and washer was rattling, and that solved half the problem. So I ended up scrubbing the bike down because I couldn't find what was going on. So I figured there had to been enough grease and grime on whatever was rattling to keep it from being too loose when the bike's not moving, because I'd only hear it on like speed bumps and potholes. So I started cleaning up my chain, my sprocket, my tire, and as soon as I got to the sprocket, I put the wrench on, and the whole nut and bolt spins on my sprocket. So the sprocket bolt spins with the nut. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I gotta replace sprocket bolts. And I was looking into different styles of how this is connected and everything that's going on. And mine's gonna be a pain in the butt because I gotta take the whole wheel off, take the brakes out to get to the bolt. So it's gonna be a pretty good project. Yeah, I'm not gonna get started right away or nothing. I'm pretty much gonna go live, and then after I go live, I will make a long video of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it. It's just a shame because I can't go a week without working on the bike, but she's such a fun ride that I don't really mind working on her. But if you watch this, right here, the whole thing spins. Now, see how the whole bolt spinning, not just the nut? See how the whole bolt spun? That's not good, dude. So it's gonna be fun. But all I can say is I do my best to fix it, and hopefully I don't need to buy a whole new back tire. Because if it's bad enough, I was watching, you gotta buy a whole new rim. Because it's not all drum brake motorcycles, but a lot of these older Keeways like mine, which my Keeway is a good, I think, when is she, 2012, 2004, I don't know, I'd have to look back up. Close to 20 years old, 15 years old, and a lot of the parts on here were original. So what I've been doing is changing a lot of original parts to either upgraded or updated parts. And the way I look at it, if you buy a used vehicle, you're gonna have to work on it. If you buy a new vehicle, you can take it to the dealership and have them work on it. I'm not that type of guy. I don't care if it's a car, a motorcycle, or what. I always try to pay cash for it, and I know I gotta work on it. So it's not a big deal. But I enjoy working on vehicles. It's fun to me. The only thing ain't fun is spending the cash. You know what I mean? Like, and it has to happen right when my daughter comes home from college. And I know she wants to ride it, so it's going to delay me about a week. I feel more bad that I got to ride it the whole time she was gone than, I don't know. I was horsing on it the other day. I was messing with the power band and put it in a little higher idle like I was told to do by someone. and I got a burning tire. I had a 200cc Cruiser smoking tire. Well, it worked, but I think I might have broke some bolts. But like anything, any vehicle that you horse on or play around with or get heavy on it and just have fun with it, it's gonna get broken. You're gonna have to fix it. Now, I could take it to the shop and just have them fix it, but I'll save probably $40-50 US doing it myself. And I love giving back to the local economy, but I don't know, man. I'm a man. I was raised by my dad. I like having these wrenches in my, you know what I mean? Even if I might not be having the best time with the wrenches in my hand, when the wrenches are finally set down, I am happier than all can be with the end product of something getting fixed, updated, upgraded, or customized. And like Elizabeth, I've done a lot of work with her. And I wish she wasn't in such bad shape when I got her, but I saved this bike. I guarantee you, just like my T-Bird, if I wouldn't have got this bike, it would have been in a scrap yard within a couple months. Hi, Mom. So like, I saved this bike from just getting crushed, but it's just a shame because the amount of money I had to put into it. Let me get over here a little closer so I can read the comments. Let's see what I can do about it. Yeah, some better review. Hello, what would Red Green do? Well, I could get me some duct tape and some zip ties. I think that's what Red Green would do. Oh, what was that last one? Yeah, that's what looks too good for the scrapyard. I definitely agree with that. It definitely looks too good for the scrapyard. And my daughter wants it. She thinks it's a beautiful bike. So I think what I'm gonna do is just keep working on it until I can make her reliable. Hold on, I'm moving. Cranky out the way. I gotta at least get her reliable enough that I can let my daughter run around on it, you know? Because if I gotta go back to the States for work at all, which looks like it's probably gonna happen, if she wants to come home from college and hop on this and take it back to campus for a semester, she's more than welcome to. That's it. I am a man. I can fix it, I guess. Dying breed of men today. Ones that actually work on their vehicles. You know what, though? A lot of people just ain't got time for it. And a lot of these newer vehicles you can't even work on. So, I don't know. I guess that's why I kind of go for the older ones that might need worked on. Because at least I can work on it when it needs worked on. Yeah, I was going to do a different style of video today, but I figured if I'm going to make a long video working on the Keeway, I'm going to have a morning coffee with her before I put her into surgery. You know what I mean? Show her off, give her 15 minutes of fame before she has to get worked on. Because it might take me 4 or 5 days to get her back together. It might only take a half hour if everything goes smooth and that bolt's just loose, but I'm betting the head busted off inside, and that's what's jingling inside the brakes. And it's 3 out of 5 bolts that spin. So I only had two bolts, sprocket bolts, truly keeping my bike safe riding around yesterday. Whew, that's scary. But I guarantee you I know when I did it. It was when I was smoking tire. She's an old bike and I was horsing on it pretty good. I just wanted to see how to do it so I could show my daughter how to have some fun on the bike. And I'm glad it happened to me and not her. You know what I mean? So at least I can fix it, and when she gets it, it'll be better. But these are just like steel bolts. The ones I'm gonna get are either gonna be titanium or that the hell is that other steel? That blackened steel to match the bike. But the titanium is the ones I want. So I'm gonna have to hit up Accurate and be like, hey, I need some bolts. It's your Valentine SCRE. I didn't get that. Oh, screw! It's my Valentine's Day screw. Oh, yeah. She gave it to me a little late, but pretty good. She screwed me pretty good. At least the tire didn't go rolling down the freaking highway. Because I'm telling you, like, that's pretty creepy when you think about it. Out of 5 bolts, I only had 2 holding it tight, and only 1 had a tight nut. Because when I got to it, the nut of the one that was tight was loose. I've learned a lot about Keeway since I've got this bike, that's for sure. I figured it's preparing me as to where if I ever own a Harley, at least I'm prepared enough to still enjoy it and work on it. Not enough TLC. I don't know, here soon there ain't going to be a part on this bike I ain't touched. Like I was telling, a guy reached out to me the other day wanting to buy a Keeway, and I was explaining to him, if you don't want to work on it, get a new one so the garage can. Now your daughter will be safe. Yeah. Once I fix it, she'll be safe. But this guy I was talking to, he said he heard a lot of bad stuff about Keeway. I was like, yeah, but you hear a lot of bad about Harley too, about having to work on them. And the way I look at it, if you're going to own a second-hand Keeway and you got higher miles that's used, look at it like a lot of the used Harley riders look at it. Work on it. If you're not prepared to work on it, then go spend a little more money on, or get a different bike that ain't gonna need worked on too much. But part of the experience of owning an older Keeway and part of the experience of owning a Harley is the constant maintenance and learning your bike. And by the time that bike is out of your possession, you should know every centimeter of that vehicle. And trust me, I'm pretty close to every centimeter. There might only be 10 centimeters left that I ain't gone through, and I'm about to. But no, like, it's made me have more respect for my vehicle and understand my vehicle and made me love the vehicle more. If you don't like working on vehicles at all, go get a Suzuki, go get Yamaha or something. If you actually don't mind working on vehicles, you can make this into one mean ride. It's a beautiful bike. I enjoy riding it. Still wish I had more CCs, but I'm in Thailand, so this is average. Where like the average CC in America is like between 600 and 800. Here it's like 125 and 400. Yeah, I was going to talk about some of my first time events in Thailand today, but since the Keeway come up. So my next live, I'll be doing either 3 or 5 first things that I've done in Thailand. but that'll be my next lot. This, I don't know, I'm pretty excited to get it apart because I'm hoping it's not as bad as I think it is. And if it's as bad as I think it is, I'm hoping I can still fix it easily. Oh. It's going to be fun because I got to take the front sprocket cover off to expose it, because if I got a problem with the bolts here, I got to check out what's going on up front. Because not only if them bolts came loose, I could have really damaged some stuff up here, you know what I mean? But she's old and beat up, and I was treating her like she was a brand new bike, horsing on her. Time to start the garden. Yeah, it's about gardening time over there. You should probably have your tomato seeds ready already. Get some of them big old fat beefsteak tomatoes. Oh yeah. My favorite though are the cherry, the plum, and the normal size real red tomatoes. Like the beefsteaks are nice and all, but I like the pickled tomatoes that are green. So like with the plums and the cherries, you get nice size, and then like the regular size tomato, you can make like slices, almost like a pickle. My dad and I have been doing that for years, man, and oh, they're good. You put a hot pepper in there, and ooh. And green tomato don't even taste like tomato. It tastes more like a pickle. Pretty good. If anyone, I don't know, if you ever get a chance to try it, pickled green tomato, try it. I call mine fireballs, because that little cherry tomato and the plum tomato, if you pickle them when they're green, you put hot peppers in there, dude, that juice inside, when you bite into it, just bursts in your mouth, and it's like a burst of awesome vinegary green tomato hotness. Dang bird just stole a bunch of my wife's over there. It's like the stuff that hangs off the weeping trees, like moss. Freaking woodpecker just come down and grabbed the whole chunk of it right off of that fan cover I have it hanging on, and just took off. I wonder how much of that's going to be left after breeding season. Oh, don't fall. The other day, I just had to work on Cranky. The battery terminals were loose. I tried yours. I'm trying to do some of ours. Okay. What? Oh, okay, yeah, awesome. So you're trying to do some too. I wish you luck. Cause like, dude, they're awesome. Yeah, like making the pickled green tomatoes. You've tried mine. Yeah, Alan. Like, you've tried them, Alan. They're pretty good, and you usually make some pretty good stuff yourself. So I'm sure it's gonna come out nice, man. Actually, I can't wait to come home and try something like that. That'd be amazing. Do it. Pickle them green tomatoes, Alan. It's gonna be a hop. Them birds, man. Oh, you're gonna do a big garden this year, Alan? Yeah, he's gonna do a garden this year. So I bet he does. I bet he's like me. He goes all out. That dang thing just stole more of my wife's. You see it fly off? This is what it was stealing. Hold on, let me get you up. It's stealing this. Right here. And oh, my wife's gonna be upset when she sees that. There's like half of it missing now. Oh no, them birds are gonna make my old lady upset. Uh-oh. It don't want to stand, guys. I really need to get a new tripod. $125cc Yamaha Wave scooter. That's what that one was. Oh, it makes me miss the intruder so bad because my 200 sounds okay. But I wish I had my intruder with the pipes I had on it for when I see people like that just fire the bike up, because they'll be a mile away still hearing mine. Yeah. I know when I come home, I definitely want to get me another intruder or boulevard. I've said it before, but what's this one? 125cc Honda Wave. Again, different one. But like, it's just so funny to hear all these loud pipes and these little engines. It's like, if you would hear my cousin Alan's bike or my bike with real engines on them, like his is, I believe it was like a 600, and mine was an 800. Or maybe his was like a 650. I can't remember. But he had a Honda Shadow and I had an Intruder, and to hear our bikes and how beautiful they sound, like mine was a lot louder because of the pipes I had on it, but his was more soothing to the ear. But the reason I put the pipes I had on my bike on was my neighbor had motorcycles and he was always over there revving them, like straight piping it. I will be getting. Oh wow, you're gonna do your hot peppers, cucumbers. Well, let me get that back up. Hot peppers, cucumbers, tomatoes, banana peppers, and dill. Oh yeah. I know the peppers that you gave me, Alan, come out real nice. Alan, what CC was your shadow? Is your shadow? Your shadow is like what, 600 or 650? Because I was just talking about like how our pipes, like the sound of it compared to these little 125s, like 600. All right, that's what I thought. Yeah, and like your bike was smoother and like soothing to the ear, where mine was just loud and obnoxious. Because I was just trying to prove a point to my neighbor that had, I can't remember what CC his bikes were, but he thought he could be loud, so I got louder. And another thing that happened to me, someone almost hit me on my bike. And some people say loud pipes don't save lives. Some people say loud pipes save lives. The way I look at it, my pipes are so loud, usually you don't hear the bikes until they pass and you keep hearing them. Mine was so loud, you could hear me freaking coming. So if you hit me, there was no way denying that you didn't hear me. So I kind of had that theory also. But like, I miss the sound of bigger CC bikes. And the other day, there was a Boulevard 1400 that came past my house, and he was cruising like 10 mile per hour to speed limit. Oh man, it made me so homesick for bigger CC vehicle. You know, like. But this 200 does it, man. I'll tell you what. I can't complain too much on the flatland. She runs really well. If I could just keep her from falling apart. Right now is when I wish I had a motorcycle jack stand, because even with the kick out thing on the bottom, like the little stand, I got bigger tires than normal, for like they're wider and taller than normal. And even with that stand down, it's not lifting the back tire off the ground. I had to put a block under it. and I barely got the tire off the ground. So I know when I come home, I'm buying me a motorcycle stand so I can work on my stuff. 110cc Honda Wave. Manual. Oh, it just reminds me of when I was growing up, all the rice burners with the pop can exhaust, I called it, or the weed eater exhaust. You have a 4-cylinder, and it's just like, I don't know. A 4-cylinder with a large exhaust can sound good, but when I grew up, everybody was buying the shitty exhaust, so it just sounded like crap. And it's kind of what they're doing with the bikes. But I understand wanting a louder exhaust, so. Yeah, I got watermelon grown. We bought a watermelon last week, and I ate it, and I threw like the seeds and the skin out in the garden, and they started growing. Let's see what we get here in a couple months. Maybe we'll have some watermelon. It's amazing. It was probably about 78 when I woke up. When I got online, it was probably about 80. Dude, it gotta be about 89 right now. Getting humid. I better get working on this bike before it gets too late, or I'm gonna be too hot to do it. But I thank everybody for hopping on. I'm gonna hop off and get to work, because I have at least a couple hours, if not a couple of days of work on this bike. I appreciate everyone tuning in and hanging out. I'll see you at the next Cup of Joe. I'll see you at the next Having a Cup of Joe with Joe. And I'll be talking about the top 3 first things I did in Thailand and the top 3 first adventures in Thailand. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Everyone else that hopped on, thank you. And everyone that'll hop on later, thank you. And I'll see you at the next Having a Cup of Joe with Joe. Good night and have a good day.